Hello, Kinderguppies. It's Mr. McComb once again, and I've got another wonderful book to share with you. This book is called Whale Child. This story is set along the coast of British Columbia in a traditional indigenous village far in the north. A little girl gets lost, and, working together with nature and her animal friends, she finds her way back home to her family. Are you all excited to hear this story? Well, that's excellent, because here we go. One day, while flying over the Pacific Northwest coast, Eagle saw a village with a group of children playing on a boardwalk. He wondered if they knew what was coming. With a big, strong voice, a young boy stepped forward and proclaimed, "I am from the Eagle clan." A little girl turned to an older girl and asked, "Who are we, Big Sister?" "This is for us to find out," Big Sister replied. Eagle tried to warn the village, but no one listened, and then it happened. Volcano woke up from its long rest. "What is this horrendous noise?" the little girl cried. In her most protective voice, Big Sister said, "Do not worry. I will take care of you." Mother Earth began to shake and rumble. The people grabbed their children and were running to safety. They did not see the small girl, but Big Sister did. "Run to the canoe! Run!" cried Big Sister. The little girl ran down to the beach and jumped into the empty canoe. The canoe shook free and slid off the shore and out to sea, leaving the paddle behind. Over the monstrous noise of Volcano, Big Sister heard the little girl holler, "I will come back to find you!" Lost in all the big noise, Big Sister's voice could not be heard to say, "I will be here!" The canoe found itself in a swift southern current. Without a paddle, the little girl was helpless. For many days, she asked every creature she saw, "Do you know where I am?" But nobody replied. She saw Owl and asked, "Owl, do you know how I can get home?" But Owl said nothing. Led down the coast by this strong river in the sea, the girl was caught in a violent storm. The wind and current threw the canoe all around. Killer Whale, looking for a yummy meal, saw the canoe in distress. Gray Whale saw what was about to happen and smacked Killer Whale with her giant tail. Using her huge body, Gray Whale blocked the violent waves from turning the canoe over. "Thank you, Mother Whale," the little girl called. The next morning, the land around her had changed. The young girl looked around for Mother Whale, wanting to ask where she was. But the gray whale was gone. Nothing looked the same to the little girl. The seas had become glassy and strangely warm. "I am lost," whispered the little girl. The days that followed were long and hot. The rainwater that had collected in the canoe during the storm was nearly gone. The poor little girl had not eaten for days. The sea was teeming with life, but there was no food for her. "I am hungry," called the little girl up to the seabirds. "Will you please share your food with me?" But the birds ignored her. Never had the girl seen such unusual creatures in her life. She wondered if they were real, or if the mother of the ocean had sent visions to confuse her. Looking over the side of her canoe, the girl saw a giant spotted fish. "Can you tell me where I am?" she asked, but Whale Shark gave no reply. There was no visit from the familiar mist and rain of her lost world. No familiar animals came to help her. Many days passed, and the little girl grew weaker and weaker. "Mother Whale, where are you?" she called out in a small, scared voice. "Help me, please, Mother Whale." Mother Whale, who had been guiding the canoe the whole way, had finally reached her own destination, a warm and quiet bay guarded by giant cactuses. Mother Whale wanted to help the little girl, but she had something to do that could not wait. "Hold on, little spirit," Mother Whale called. The bay was filled with mother, sister, aunt, and grandmother gray whales. They had all gathered to give birth and meet a new generation of babies. The water reverberated with the magic of new life and the sounds of joy. "Welcome, my daughter," Mother Whale sang to her new baby. Mother Whale was happy. She knew this baby whale was special. "It is time to meet your sister spirit," she sang, as she pushed the baby whale upwards towards the surface of the water. Breaking the smooth surface of the water and taking her first breath, the baby whale drew in the spirit of the little girl lost in the canoe. Now, filled with the little human's spirit, the baby whale felt strong, happy, and determined. Whale child! The spirit of the girl, united with the baby whale, was filled with questions. She did not know which to ask first. "Why are you white when all the other whales are gray?" she asked her new sister spirit. Leaping with joy, the baby whale replied, "Because you make me special. You make me different." "Where am I going? Are we lost?" asked Whale Child. "You are not lost," said the baby white whale. "You are with me, and we are heading back north where you came from." Traveling up the North American coast, the shoreline began to change. Whale Child asked, "Where in this big world is my village?" "It is not far now," said the white whale. They traveled north for many days, and Whale Child kept searching the shoreline for signs of her village. The water got colder, and the fish began to look familiar. Giant evergreen trees stood tall along the rocky coast. Coming around a corner in the land, and looking through the familiar mist and fog, Whale Child cried out, "Look! Look! There is my village!" And as they swam closer to shore, Whale Child shouted, "And there is my big sister!" With an empty but happy heart, White Whale swam close to the beach and released Whale Child into the water. Splashing through the water towards her, Big Sister called out, "I will always take care of you." "Yes," said Whale Child, "and the spirit of the whale will take care of us both." Now that our story's done, Kinderguppies, we've got this interesting map to look at. If you look at the red arrow, it shows how whales up north will move south. When the weather gets cooler, they will move away from the cold waters and move south to where it's warm. They will have their babies and they will eat their food. And then later in the year, when it warms up again, just like the black arrows show, they will turn around and swim back north again. They make this huge trip every year. This page shows us the different sizes that whales can be. The top one is a grown-up gray whale. It can be 15 meters long. That's almost 8 Mr. McCombs. And you can see the baby whale underneath. That baby whale is 3 meters long. That's like 1.5 Mr. McCombs. That's a big baby. And then underneath that, you can see the black and white orca. That killer whale is 10 meters long. That's the whale that was going to eat the Whale Child as she was sailing south in her boat, until the big mama gray whale came and knocked her out of the way. And right at the bottom, you can see a dolphin. A dolphin's a type of whale too. Well, Kinderguppies, here we are again at the end of another lovely book. It sure was interesting to hear this traditional tale from an indigenous Northwest culture. I've never heard of a whale child before. I sure enjoyed seeing all of the different animals that lived along the coast and close to Whale Child's village. I also liked seeing the different types of whales. I hope you guys all enjoyed this story. And don't forget, Mr. McComb will talk to you all later.